Get ready to have your mind blown. From ancient civilizations to modern marvels, history is full of crazy facts that will leave you speechless. In this video, we're counting down the top 5 most unbelievable history facts that are actually true. From forgotten empires to bizarre rituals, these historical tidbits will challenge everything you thought you knew about the past. So sit back, relax, and get ready to have your historical knowledge turned upside down. In 1913, a remarkable historical coincidence occurred in the bustling city of Vienna, Austria. 3 men who would each leave indelible marks on the 20th century lived within the same city at the same time: Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, and Sigmund Freud. It's wild to think about, especially considering their vastly different paths. Adolf Hitler, the future dictator of Nazi Germany, was a struggling artist at the time. Rejected by the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts, Hitler lived in poverty, often staying in flop houses or shelters, spending his days painting postcards and nurturing his growing resentment of the establishment. Unbeknownst to the world, he was already developing the toxic ideologies that would later plunge the globe into World War II. Meanwhile, Joseph Stalin, the man who would later become the brutal leader of the Soviet Union, was in Vienna under much different circumstances. Stalin, who was on the run from Tsarist authorities, had come to Vienna for refuge. He spent his time studying Marxist theory and meeting with fellow revolutionaries, setting the stage for his future role in the Bolshevik Revolution. Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, was also in Vienna at this time. Though his world was far removed from the chaos brewing beneath the surface of the city, Freud was already a well-known figure, practicing psychoanalysis and exploring the human subconscious, shaping modern psychology in ways that are still felt today. It's astonishing to think these 3 figures, each destined to alter history in profound and often tragic ways, were at one point in close proximity, completely unaware of how their lives would impact millions. Ancient Romans were well known for many things: conquering empires, building incredible structures, and, oddly enough, using urine as mouthwash. Yes, you heard that right. In the time before toothpaste, Romans employed some pretty peculiar methods for dental hygiene, and one of the most bizarre involved gargling with human and animal urine. But why urine? The secret lies in ammonia, a compound found in urine that has powerful cleaning properties. Ammonia acts as a natural whitening agent, which made it perfect for keeping those Roman pearly whites gleaming. Romans believed that rinsing with urine helped remove stains from their teeth, giving them a brighter smile. Urine wasn't just a DIY mouthwash. It was also an important commodity in Roman life. Public urinals were set up around the city, and the collected urine was sold to tanners, launderers, and, of course, those in need of mouth rinse. Wealthy Romans even preferred imported urine. Spanish urine was especially prized for its quality. So if you were in the upper class, you weren't just swishing with any old local urine, you were living and rinsing in style. Well, this might seem strange or downright gross today. It was perfectly normal back then. Urine continued to be used in various cleaning processes for centuries, long after the fall of Rome. In March 1958, the quiet town of Mars Bluff, South Carolina, became the unlikely site of one of the most bizarre accidents in U.S. military history. A nuclear bomb was accidentally dropped on it. The atomic bomb fell out of the sky and landed in the backyard of an unsuspecting family's home. Thankfully, it didn't detonate, but the story is a jaw-dropping mix of military mishap and sheer bad luck. It all started with a routine flight. A B-47 bomber was flying from Georgia to the United Kingdom, carrying an atomic bomb as part of a training exercise. The bomb wasn't armed with a nuclear core, but it was still packed with conventional explosives used to trigger a nuclear reaction. During the flight, a malfunction occurred. A crew member reached for the bomb's emergency release pin, thinking it would secure the bomb more tightly. Instead, the bomb fell out of the plane. It plummeted to Earth, landing in the woods near Walter Gregg's house. The bomb exploded. Thankfully, only the conventional explosives went off, not the nuclear component. The explosion was still massive, creating a crater 75 feet wide and 35 feet deep, flattening the Greggs family home and causing minor injuries to the family. Windows were shattered, trees were knocked down, and debris flew everywhere. Though no one was killed, the incident sent shockwaves through the town and raised serious questions about military safety protocols. The U.S. Air Force apologized and compensated the Gregg family, but the story of Mars Bluffs remains a strange and unsettling reminder of how close we once came to a nuclear disaster. In one of the strangest chapters of medieval history, Pope Gregory IX declared war on cats. Yes, in the 13th century, the Pope decided that cats, particularly black ones, were agents of the devil himself. This vendetta against felines didn't just stop at harsh words, it led to the mass extermination of cats across Europe, with consequences far beyond what anyone could have predicted. It all began around 1233 when Pope Gregory IX issued a papal bull called Vox in Rama. In it, he associated cats, especially black cats, with satanic rituals, believing that cats were used in witchcraft and devil worship. This proclamation tapped into the already superstitious beliefs of the time, sparking widespread fear of cats. People believed that cats, as Satan's minions, needed to be eradicated to protect the Christian world. The result? A Europe-wide campaign to exterminate cats. Black cats were especially targeted, but other cats didn't fare much better. While this might seem like just another quirk of medieval superstition, the mass killing of cats led to some unexpected consequences, most notably a rise in the rat population. Without cats to keep rodent numbers in check, rats thrived, and along with them, their fleas. Those fleas carried the plague, and soon after, Europe was hit by one of the most devastating pandemics in history, the Black Death. While it's impossible to say that the cat massacre directly caused the plague, it certainly didn't help. This strange and tragic chapter is a reminder of how superstition can spiral out of control, with consequences far worse than anything imagined. Winston Churchill was a man of bold ideas, but one of his most eccentric proposals involved invading Russia with a fleet of UFO-like tanks. Yes, during the height of World War II tensions, Churchill considered creating a fleet of flying saucers, though not the alien kind, to tackle the Soviet threat. These tanks, officially called flying saucers, were meant to be futuristic, all-terrain vehicles that could dominate on the battlefield. Luckily for everyone involved, this far-out plan never saw the light of day. In the 1940s, as the Cold War loomed, Churchill was thinking of any way to gain an edge over the Soviets. He and the British engineers explored the idea of creating tanks that looked like UFOs, capable of rapid movement across various landscapes. These saucer-shaped vehicles were envisioned to be part tank, part hovercraft, theoretically allowing them to glide over rough terrain, snow, and even water, perfect for invading Russia's vast and challenging landscape. The project, though ambitious, had more in common with science fiction than real-world warfare. The logistics were shaky at best, and the technology to make such tanks fly, hover, or even function properly simply didn't exist at the time. Moreover, the cost and practicality of producing an entire fleet of flying saucer tanks were deemed unrealistic. Unsurprisingly, the plan was scrapped before it ever reached the battlefield. Although Churchill's UFO invasion never materialized, it speaks volumes about his willingness to consider unconventional solutions, even if they were a bit outlandish. In the end, this bizarre chapter in military history was left on the drawing board, where it belonged. Incredible, right? These jaw-dropping historical facts prove that the truth is often stranger than fiction. From world leaders unknowingly sharing the same city, to popes waging war on cats, and even near-nuclear disasters. History is full of unbelievable twists and turns, whether it's the Romans rinsing with urine or Churchill's wild UFO invasion plan. These bizarre moments remind us of how unpredictable and fascinating the past really is. So next time you think you've heard it all, remember, history always has a few more surprises up its sleeve. If these crazy history facts left you questioning reality, hit that like button and subscribe before we accidentally drop an atomic bomb of more fun facts on you. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.